5 causes of depression in an INFJ personality. INFJ by nature, clinically depressed. I recently lost 10 kilograms without trying, and lately, sleeplessness has been ruining my nights. Because I'm in my early 22nd and struggling to find meaning or purpose in my life, I believe I'm going through a midlife crisis. INFJs are not the only Myers-Briggs personality types who experience depression. Of course, not all INFJs are depressed. But because we INFJs are so sensitive and have such a different perspective on the world, it's not unusual for us to experience despair at some point in our life. Here are 5 reasons why this unusual personality type can experience depression based on my personal experiences. Why an INFJ personality may experience depression. 1. After experiencing other people's sentiments, we are emotionally spent. I've unconsciously absorbed other people's emotions since I was a young child. Sometimes I feel as like I'm drowning in a sea of feelings that don't even belong to me, floating in one or swimming in another. I'm constantly emotionally spent as a result. In social events and environments with a lot of stimulation, I get easily exhausted. When I've attempted to describe this emotion to others, I frequently receive the advice, "Don't worry about what people think." The truth is that I don't care what other people think. I experience what others experience. I pick up on people's vibes when I enter a room. It's as if their energy is a real thing that has drawn me out of myself. I have a very hard time compartmentalizing and letting go of other people's feelings. This leaves me emotionally weary and makes it hard for me to operate. Recently, one of my supervisors commented to me, "It's like you're a bank. Most people are withdrawing and withdrawing without depositing anything back." After noticing this, sadly, this is a trait of INFJs. We frequently pursue careers in psychology and counseling. And even if we don't, we unknowingly handle the serious psychological problems of others. Empathy burnout can be detrimental even though it is our greatest asset. 2. We hold ourselves to very high standards. I've had a lot of trouble with perfectionism throughout my life. It's advantageous at times. For instance, when I'm finishing off a project or an academic paper, my fastidious eye can make tiny victories become even bigger ones. Although it has been my unsung ally, perfectionism has also been my inner enemy. I've always had high expectations for myself and become upset if I don't live up to them. In my late teens and early 20s, I worked 3 jobs, went to school full-time, and made an effort to maintain a social life. I worked so hard to make every aspect of my life perfect that I eventually burned out. I've lately realized how harshly I judge myself. When I find myself unable to communicate with others like I'd hoped, I'm disappointed. When I have to give a presentation at work, I'll visualize the ideal result in my head, then get upset with myself when I don't perform as I had planned. The same is true of my creative work. I frequently envision something far larger than what is actually accomplished, which leads to frequent disappointment and discouragement. As INFJs, we are prone to having high standards for ourselves and frequently feel like we are failing because of our introverted intuition and judging nature. When this occurs, our sensitive and introverted nature magnifies these sensations internally, making it challenging to deal and frequently resulting in worry or sadness. 3. Conflict makes us very anxious. The relentless efforts of INFJs to achieve harmony frequently exhaust them. Although it may seem like they are being unselfish, INFJs are actually largely self-centered because they must first have a peaceful atmosphere in order to feel peaceful inside. Since I can remember, I've always tried to stay out of disputes. Conflict is my weak point. When one of my intimate connections is in disagreement, it occupies me and makes me feel helpless and defenseless. If I sense any negativity in my surroundings, it is very difficult for me to unwind, rest, or take care of myself. In reality, there have been numerous occasions when confrontation has made me ill. 4. We want for direction and meaning. INFJs are idealistic, and meaning and purpose are what motivate me. When my employment does not align with my values and desire to make a difference, I struggle. INFJs are renowned for standing up for others or championing a cause. We float around pretty aimlessly, unclear of our purpose in life, when we are unsure of our causes or cannot find significance in our profession. We're left feeling rather depressed as a result of this. 5. We constantly second-guess ourselves. Overthinking is one of my main issues as an INFJ. In fact, I believe INFJs would win the gold medals if overthinking were an Olympic sport. We have a propensity to ruminate and reflect, oftentimes not in the most beneficial manner. Overthinking can be harmful to our mental health, even though most INFJs are proud of their capacity for reflection as well as their near-psychic intuition to detect when something is amiss or predict how things will pan out. When we overthink, our inner voice becomes uncontrollable and we are unable to silence it. This voice is unpleasant and obsessional, and it doesn't get us anywhere. Let's take an example where someone asks me a question and I don't immediately have a solid response. I might keep going over the question and my response and my thoughts over the next few days, as if I could somehow alter my answer. I overanalyze and overthink to the point where it hurts my brain and exhausts me. You're not alone if you're an INFJ who is experiencing depression. Just as you take such good care of others, never forget to take care of yourself. And understand that despair needn't endure a lifetime.